Hello and welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 4 for the month of May 2019. I am Nemesis and I am joined by Alca7raz.
8.
Yep, doing the anime thing again.
Yeah, anime thing.
Kind of crazy. Last week, Lily Hoshikawa is now in British Parliament.
God,
because of really dumb reasons. Anyway, turfs are bad.
Yes.
Just putting that out there, just so you know. So shut up.
Imagine one day one of your memes shows up, and if you make a meme and it shows up in the highest level of government, just like,
what?
Does
this mean I win? Or did I lose? I'm not sure.
Yes, I think that's both.
Yeah, so that's a thing that happened all because of Sonic Fox and Lily and British Parliament and transphobes and blah.
Yeah.
Not great. Kind of funny.
Kind of funny, but not great that it's happening.
But, that's a thing that happened, I guess, recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But yeah, I'm not here to talk about that though, as much as I'd like to.
Yeah.
We actually, as we said last time, what we're doing this time, we're actually talking about new stuff that came out. So we picked 4 animes that came out for the spring 2019 season.
Randomly.
Yep, randomly. Totally random. Mostly random. The thing was, we kind of dropped one because
we made one exception.
We were disgusted by just the title.
We re-rolled one of them.
Yeah, because the title itself disgusted us, and we're like, yeah, we don't want to watch that. And we realized it'd be like easily just devolve into us just complaining about it for like 10 minutes or so. So it wasn't a great idea to try. Really, it would be both of us would hate watching it. Honestly, I just knew it real quick. So, but yeah, beyond that though, we picked 4 of them, and we watched the first 3 episodes of each. Even though at this point, most of them 4 or 5 episodes have now come out, depending on which ones. But yeah,
it's a 3 episode rule.
Timing.
Yeah, timing ends the 3 episode rule.
Also, we just barely made it. If we're gonna be honest, we just barely snuck in with those 3 of each.
Yeah,
because we didn't starting out of time. It's like, oh wow, it's getting kind of late. Crap. Yeah, so we picked 4 of them, and we got in as blind as possible. I know a couple things about some of them, but not really much else, really.
Yeah, I was completely blind as well. So I didn't know anything.
Hopefully, that got kind of like one of them was, yeah. We'll just we'll talk to them as we get to them. So we're gonna start off with the first one that came up in roll. We watched them in order of roll, so no real particular order beyond that. The first one we did was Cinderella Nine. It's ostensibly it's an anime about a girls' baseball team in high school.
Yep,
and that's their whole thing is this girls trying to form a baseball club / team, and there isn't one. So she's trying to get a bunch of girls together to play baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball, because baseball is actually pretty popular in Japan.
It's like one of the only other places in the whole world where it's popular.
Yeah.
U.S.,
it's arguably
Japan.
more popular in Japan than it is in the U.S. now.
Yes. Football's kind of overtook baseball a long time ago.
Yeah, the main girl, the one who's trying to form the club, is Arihara Tsubasa. She's a first year, and she's the kind of character I've kind of seen it before, and I'm like, oh, I see what's going on here. She's a very excitable type of person, kind of a free spirit, wants to play baseball. She played baseball before, and that's revealed, and she apparently won a national tournament.
Yeah.
That's one of the things is going on. Let's see the other characters. There's Suzuki, Nozaki Yuki, Kawakita Tomo, Yukita Akane, Iwaki Yoshimi, Asada Aoi, Nakano, and Shinanomi. Yeah. Some of them don't have last names yet.
Yeah, some of them don't have.
We haven't been, at least we didn't hear them or whatever, at the very least in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And at this point, not all the characters have been introduced, I believe.
Yeah, they're still, even in the 3rd episode, they're still throwing new stuff in.
Mm-hmm. And of course, not surprising, all of them have their own little hang-ups or problems or whatever, like, of sorts.
Their own reasons to be.
Of varying
degrees,
yeah.
Yes.
It's a baseball anime.
It's a baseball anime.
I guess it's a slash sports anime. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because it follows a lot of the formula. I've noticed I've seen a lot of slice of life anime. Actually kind of reminded me to agree because it's Love Live, but baseball. Even with
I haven't seen Love Live, so hey.
Yeah, it's because 9 characters as well. Just 9 main characters. All and heck, even the main character with hairstyle and everything reminds me of Hanukkah. But you'll find out eventually.
I guess when I'm eventually forced to watch it.
Yeah. One of the things as well is that they're having trouble because there's no baseball club and they're not really official yet. And they initially it was like the problem was baseball clubs are expensive because of the gear.
The gear,
They need
field.
They need a big field to play in, and they're having trouble with that. They had to eventually find an old field and get used equipment or older equipment at super discount to be able to get all this stuff and whatnot. And the thing is, most of them have not played baseball ever.
Yeah, that's it is interesting. A few of them just it's never been a thing to them, but they kind of get dragged into it, or
they're interested, but they're not
interested, but not very good
because they never played before.
Ukita Akane, is super interested, but has major self-esteem issues and is shy and really wants to, but has problems getting into it and actually doing it.
She's also short and wears a hoodie.
Yes, short and wears a hoodie.
Another one though is you got Yuki, who initially seems to kind of be like not really that interesting. She kind of dragged in, but she actually has a bit of a talent to it for it. Apparently.
Oh yeah, especially like I think it was throwing. I saw the first one. She's actually really good at that.
Then it turns out she's throwing with the wrong hands. Like she's
a lefty.
She's a lefty, and she's throwing with the wrong hand, still doing really well. Oh
yes.
Oh boy. Makes me wonder. What is it? Suzuki. She was there. She initially. She's the. She has a brother who plays baseball at university and stuff.
Yeah, with Suzuki, apparently she has an interest, and when she was
tried playing before.
She tried and was. Well, she wasn't initially very good at it, which no one is. It's the first time.
But everyone else was more experienced, so she looked really bad in comparison, so she felt bad about herself and bailed out.
Yep.
And then she became more of a
like the manager.
Yeah, manager, coach type thing, because she like memorized all these plays, like actually started giving advice. Like these kids who are older than her giving them advice on how to play baseball.
Because she was good at seeing things. Yeah. That's one thing, is she was able to see the tells and all that sort of stuff. So she was really good at that part of it. And this whole thing is she's rediscovering her love for actually playing it and starting to get back into it herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also Tomo is Tsubasa's friend. So far, there's really not a whole lot about her other than she was there for some stuff earlier. But yeah, she hasn't really done much yet. So she's really unfortunately not much about her yet.
Yes. I think the only other really big like lore thing that I noticed was the last character you mentioned, Shinonomi. Shinonomi, that's what it is.
Yeah, I know. You see what?
There's another syllable in there. Yeah, Shinonomi. Apparently, her and the main character have history.
Yeah, she was on another team winning that tournament, it seems.
Yeah. But Shinonomi's going pro and doesn't want to deal with the lesser high schooler clubs.
She's very standoffish and kind of elitist.
Yeah.
She's like, you're not taking this seriously anymore? What's wrong with you? That sort of thing.
Yep.
Because, they've met her at the batting cages. It's like, she's just like, everyone just kind of gets enamored with her. Like, whoa, she's good at this.
She's good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, I recognize you.
So, yeah, her and Aihara.
Definitely the history there.
Yeah.
And no doubt they're going to become really good friends by the end of the anime, because that's how it goes. Plus, be really good friends.
Really good friends. But you had to Tomoe.
Mm-hmm.
It would also be kind of a potential for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, depending on how tight your shipping goggles are attached to your head.
Yes.
Yoshimi, she's apparently a second year, and she's captain of the cheer squad, and she's kind of a weird person. I mean, she's wearing a uniform that's not a school uniform over top of her school uniform.
Yeah. That was one of like the big flowing jacket and stuff, right? It reminded me of Mako from Kill la Kill.
I figured.
That's what it was reminding me of.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's kind of I'm not sure yet. She hasn't done a whole lot yet. I'm wondering if she's a bit of a chuny character.
I have no idea what that is.
It's basically someone who's kind of weird like that and kind of acts a bit they kind of have a shtick of sorts, an act.
Yeah.
Although some of them would insist it's definitely not a shtick.
Is it to compensate for something?
It's compensate. Often it's also called eighth grader syndrome. It's basically a compensation for perceived flaw. Often the flaw being I'm boring and uninteresting, so I now do something to make myself stand out. So I'm going to act really crazy and out there. And sometimes, usually it's called eighth grader or middle schooler syndrome because usually it pops up in middle school and kind of wears off through high school, but sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
That usually is beaten out of you though by work when you get out of high school though.
Yeah.
There's another kind of interesting character. Aoi is a gambler of sorts, apparently.
Yes, apparently he's really good at that.
She also has the cat smile thing going on. It's like, she kind of showed up with the cheer squad girl.
Yeah. Well, the cheer squad girl grabbed her.
Yeah, let me try.
And kind of drug her into it.
They're a pair of sorts.
Yeah.
Nakano's a journalist.
Yes, who's also drug into this. Yes. You cannot come anywhere near this team without being drug into it.
That's the thing. It's like I've noticed it's the main character, of course, is the one who has an infectious personality, just drags everyone around them into it, regardless of how they actually feel. And somehow, by the end, they're all good friends and actually love baseball or whatever the thing is. It's just the thing.
The thing, yep.
To a degree, I'm noticing it kind of follows the same pattern a lot of animes follow, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I haven't seen those patterns.
Being unoriginal is not necessarily bad.
Yeah, I mean, if following a trope does not immediately mean there's something wrong with it. They're tropes for a reason, usually because they work when done well. Yeah. So they're tools to use.
Yeah. Animation, I didn't notice any real problems.
Yeah, it seemed perfectly fine.
Yeah, I didn't see anything really weird about it or anything. Voice acting, I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't know anything. It's like I don't feel like I'm comfortable criticizing voice acting one or the other because it's hard to recognize bad or good acting based off when someone's speaking another language.
Yeah, it's really hard to judge that.
Unless it's particularly bad, you just can't really tell. But anyway, as it is, I'm actually interested enough to keep watching it. I kind of, get an idea of how it's gonna go. It's it's one of those. It's pretty obvious. You can see, unless they throw a wrench at us, they
throw a curveball at us.
How
did you not go for that?
I was trying not to.
It was wide open. You have to go for it. I will echo that. It does seem interesting enough to keep watching.
Yeah, even though it's pretty, I can probably predict how it's going to end, unless they throw that curveball at the end or something to mess with us. But it's predictable, but I don't care.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep track of.
Yeah, at least personally.
So for now, yeah.
And the second one we watched though, this one is the replacement.
The replacement.
It's called Midnight Occult Civil Servants. This one is interesting. It's a guy gets a government job that's a night job as a civil servant, and it turns out to be way different than he expected it to be.
Yeah, turns out the things you're keeping peace with are not humans.
The main guy there, the guy, Miyako Arata, he's new transfer to Shinjuku Ward Nocturnal Community Relations Division. Yes, I wrote that down.
Yes, they like their big names.
Yeah. And that's apparently one of many nocturnal community relations divisions across Japan or something.
A whole bunch of them all handle their little region. Their divisions.
Yeah. There's also Himiduka Theo, who's apparently British. He calls himself formerly British. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure, unless he renounced his nationality, but sure, I guess. He does experiments and stuff, and he's also quite effeminate.
Quite effeminate.
To the point of this other guy, Sakaki Kiyoshi, sometimes uses him, says he's his girlfriend to, basically bail out on women.
Much to Theo
really hates this.
Dismay.
Yeah. This guy, this Kiyoshi guy, is also a bit of a ladies' man. It's also revealed that he has a bit of a little story there with him towards by the third episode. It's like, Yep. Yeah, the thing is, it does obviously have a supernatural element. You can tell from the title, occult.
Occult.
Gee, I wonder, because the big thing is, there's these creatures around that they're invisible to most people, and they're called Anothers.
The Anothers.
Yeah, there's different kinds of them stuff. Like the first ones we see are angels and Tengu. And angels are pretty much, well, they're giant women.
They're giant women.
Down, Greg Universe. No. Down.
Giant angel women.
Yeah, and the whole purpose of the job is to maintain good relations there between the Anothers and the other Anothers and humans as well, to make sure nothing goes bad.
Yeah.
Or to mitigate it when it goes bad. In some cases. That's their whole job. But they also have little special tools like using occult ingredients, as you'd see in like a lot of stuff. Like they have a special actually just tape, yellow tape that actually works as a barrier, magical barrier for the Anothers, prevents them from moving.
Yep.
But it just looks like standard tape, so people just go, oh, they don't see like a salt tape. Circle or whatever and try to.
Yep. They actually brought that up. They used to use those, and it's like, that causes too many other problems.
Yeah, but just tape. Yeah, people just kind of go, okay, don't mess with that.
Caution tape. Don't go there.
Yeah, because that's one of the first things that they have to deal with is there's a bit of a weird turf war between angels and Tengu, and it turns out to be a Romeo and Juliet type story. Because of course, an angel fell in love with the Tengu, and
fell in love with each other, and the rest of their families don't agree.
Yep.
And that's when we get the big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the humans actually can't understand the Anothers' language.
Except for Arata.
Except for this new guy.
Yep. And they're like, what?
Wait, you can understand them?
Yeah, you can't?
You can't?
Yeah. Yep. And it turns out that means he's a special person.
He is indeed a special one.
Uh-huh.
It comes back to this guy. Apparently this guy named Abe no Shimi?
Yep.
Shaimi, or however you pronounce that?
Semi.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Semi.
I don't know. You got it.
Yeah.
An onmyoji.
Yep.
Which is like a...
Yeah, I looked it up a bit. It's, what was it? It's a magic user.
Yeah.
So it's a conjurer, a divinator.
Yeah. A psychic, basically.
Of sorts.
Of sorts. From way back in...
The Heian period.
Yeah, the Heian period, way back in the day.
And apparently Arata's family carries it in their bloodline.
Yes. It seems to be sort of implied that Miyako Arata is his the reincarnation or whatnot.
Well, yeah, that would not surprise me. I mean, that seems like the kind of thing they would do.
Yeah, it's like the reincarnation, though he has no memories of this old person.
Yeah, they're calling his ability to speak to another's ears of sand.
Yes, the ears of sand, which is I don't understand.
Yeah,
well, okay, it's probably a cultural reference that we don't get.
Yeah. But we've also met there's this girl who showed up who's probably going to be a little important. Her name is Matsuno Izumi, who's apparently his neighbor to Arata.
Ah, right.
So she might be important. She seemed kind of got a bit of a scene. So it's like,
Yes.
And then there's a white cat, a Nekomata.
Ah, yes. With
called
two
Yuki.
tails.
He protected the Arata's family storehouse, and apparently he's a two-tailed white cat.
Two-tailed white cat. Can change sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Is also really, really old.
And lonely.
Because stayed in the storage shed for
years.
Eons.
And then Arata's like, we can move this stuff, and you come with me. Yes!
Yes!
And there's also something about a Kisha, which is a big multi-headed bird, another thing, which turns out someone was riding.
Yes.
And this person brought up the Kyoshi, which are basically zombies, more or less.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy, this new guy shows up. He calls himself, multiple names. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Coyote, Kohaku, and Hyuhikyoto, who is apparently a trickster god for the Aztecs.
Yep,
basically the Aztec equivalent of Loki.
Yep.
Except, so he knows Seme.
Apparently, they were friends.
Yeah, of sorts. Or something. And he's very childish.
Very childish. It's weird.
Yeah, he acts like a kid. And he's like playing with Arata, who's like, what the heck is going on?
What the hey?
Yeah.
But I had to remember old stories it was told as a kid in order to remember the names it was given to convince him. It's very interesting how this is all working out.
Yeah. this interesting. Yeah, it's some weird stuff going on with family history and monsters and this weird guy who also is hyper effeminate.
Yes, that's actually one thing that I'm a little worried about is how they handle that.
Yeah.
Because if they play it off as like some joke, it could be in poor taste.
Yeah.
They haven't yet.
Or
but
it's just pretty boys.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a trope, is the very pretty guy in anime, I've noticed. And then it's also, I've noticed it's a bit of a trope in anime which kind of has yaoi undertones to it. So
yeah.
Which I have kind of noticed a little bit already.
Yeah. Especially with Theo.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying between the Coyote and Arata, there's like, It's like, okay, this Coyote guy or hey Coyote. Yeah, I'm trying to.
What was the name that Abe gave him?
It was Kohaku.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's he. Yeah. He's a little bit of a. He said he's straight up said. I think he straight up said he's killed people before. So I was like, not the greatest guy.
Not the greatest.
Don't want to get mixed up in that, Arata.
Yeah, it's like.
It looks like you're gonna have to.
The Aztec trickster god lives forever. Has no concept of consequences or really morality. It seems it's just
morality. I'm just gonna have some fun.
I'm just here to have fun. Doesn't really think about anything else.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna raise the dead because it's a surprise, and I wanted to surprise you.
Yeah,
he didn't think about the damage it would cause. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Like at one point, Arata's like, "I'm not this semi person you keep talking about." He's like, "Oh, okay, I'll just kill you."
Yep.
I am him. Never mind. I'm him. Yep, that's me.
That's me.
Yeah, there's also saying that Kyochi apparently has a missing sister, which there's been a lot of missing people, and it's like there's a lead that was implied at the end of the third episode, so there's already a lot of hooks there to keep you watching. It's like
with this one, a whole bunch of missing girls, and 4 of them were here because the trickster god, I'm not gonna try and pronounce the name.
Just say Coyote. Or Kohaku, whichever.
Borrowed them from a friend, apparently.
It's like, Yep, there's a lot going on here, and it's intrigued me enough. I do actually want to keep watching it, honestly.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes. Just, because like, okay, you got my attention.
Yeah, you've got my attention. This could definitely be interesting. Some of the, I want to say pacing, but I might be wrong in there. Or maybe it's just the structure and flow is very different than some of the other ones we've watched in this set.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels different. Not bad or wrong, but definitely different feel to the structure and pacing than some other things.
Yeah, the other thing is it just kind of throws you in.
Yeah, it does.
So you're learning along with Arata what the heck's going on.
Yeah, that's the way they play it is you don't know anything that he doesn't.
Here you go. Huh? Just figure it out. Okay. I guess. Yeah, so I'm interested enough to keep going on that one. All right, the next one we watch is called Amazing Stranger, all caps.
Oh boy.
It's a half-length anime, so it's a different one. It's an otaku buys a figure and turns out she's alive for some reason.
Oh boy.
It's interesting.
Basically, the way I wrote this one down, it's the otaku fantasy
to a degree,
but it also seems like it might be a deconstruction.
Yeah,
and make maybe a mockery of. Yeah, but
gonna get into that a little bit. Yeah, so you got Nona, who's apparently her whole thing is female form planetary space probe 9.
Planetary Explorer Girl. Yep.
Yeah, she's from an anime called Planetary Explorer Girl, and there's also the otaku guy is Boide Haruto. Yeah.
Apparently a
he's a programmer who works from home.
Programmer.
No interest in real women.
Nope. 2D waifus are better.
Yep.
That literally is an argument that comes.
Yep. And they're the main characters. Also Earth robot Ozma.
Oh yes, Ozma shows up.
Yeah. He's also a character, and then apparently he has Haruto has a sister named Makoto, and then there's another guy, Kanmuri Seijiro. who's also an otaku who watch anime, but apparently hate watches a lot of it.
Yep.
He's that guy.
That guy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nona, it starts off with us, just Nona kind of doing one of her adventures. We're just kind of thrown in and surprised she's just a figure. And we see that she finds out that her life is a lie. She's none of those things.
She's an
happen.
anime
She's
character.
an anime character, and she's just just a figure. The thing is, the anime goes very quickly, just right into fan servicey stuff. Very quickly. Yeah, it just goes right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's between Nona's design and just a lot of the camera shots and whatnot.
It just opens right up into that. And it's one of those, it might be ironic fan service, but as the quote goes, ironic fan service is still fan service. And it's still kind of creepy.
Yeah, the thing is, I even right there on my notes, kind of creepy.
Oh, I have that. I think I have written a couple times in here. Yeah. Creepy.
The thing is, Nona has a bit of, she does have a bit of an existential crisis initially when she finds out she's fictional, which, understandable.
Apparently, Ozma figures it out immediately.
Yeah, because his whole thing is intelligence gathering, so he figures out very quickly that, this is old.
This is not right.
Yeah.
And then Nona finds the materials.
Yeah, his stuff, his stash of dojins and whatnot.
Yes,
because he says he loves her, and he's like, "Oh, is it this kind of love?"
Oh,
yeah. The thing is, she also is fully armed, apparently. Like
literally, her arms have guns in them.
Yes, and she did initially shoot him. Couple times, actually, I had him a couple times.
Oh yes,
yeah. So, and then she does this weird thing of she decides to become his wife because she then gets to laze around the house doing nothing all day,
which is kind of funny.
It's one of those weird things. Did she just trick him?
Yep.
Did she just?
Yep.
The thing is, apparently, it's also revealed that Ozma figures out that the thing is these two don't really have any knowledge of concepts that don't exist in the anime. So romance isn't. It's not a romantic anime, so she has no concept of the idea of romance. Really.
Yeah. So that's
kind of an interesting thing, and this Boyda guy is. He's weird.
He's weird. He is the stereotypical.
He is the otaku.
Otaku, yeah. And they play it up so hard.
Yeah.
That's why it makes me feel that this is supposed to be like a deconstruction.
Yeah. Sometimes it really does feel like it is.
Well, making fun of it.
Yeah.
But they're also trying to put a story in, especially with the end of the third episode.
Yeah, here's what I wrote. It seems kind of self-aware, but still falls into a lot of the creepier tropes.
Yeah. Ironic fan service is still fan service, even if you're trying to play it as a joke. It's still there.
Yeah, so it's kind of one thing I did notice was actually kind of interesting. I think it was actually kind of interesting idea was the CG for the figures, but for like particularly Nona, but everything else is traditional animation. It's kind of an interesting way of handling
mixing
things.
them together.
The other thing is,
I think a lot of times that works, but sometimes it's you go, that may not have worked as well.
I think it kind of works in the sense that it's kind of a she is kind of an out of place thing, so it kind of works in that regard that it does distinctly stand out.
So it's like a reverse isekai.
Yeah, and the other thing is his friend Kanmuri is turns out he has his own little figure.
Yes, living figure thing.
Yes, and. Yeah, he knows that Nona's alive and stuff, and this is one of the apparently at the end of the third episode you got the other figures that Boda bought to kind of replicate the situation, just to see the experiment, see if she's unique or not. Some of them already one of them just broke out of the packaging, so we'll see. I guess it's one of those. Well, there's your hook.
There's your hook. That's the story that would, if you're going to watch it for any sort of real story, that's the story to watch it for.
In fact, Kanmuri seems to be implied to be possibly behind the whole thing.
Possibly?
That's as it is as of the third episode. I know it might be real. No, he's not, or know who he is.
Yeah, because it was right there at the end that he was introduced.
Again, these are only
not a huge
12
amount of stuff.
These are half-length episodes as well, so there's that.
So not a huge amount of time spent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting one, but in different ways. There looks to be potentially an interesting story, but
Yep.
and it's a really big but. You would have to get over the really creepy parts, and I don't know if I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is.
Yeah. I think it has a lot of bad in it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad about it, but there is a part of me that's like, I want to know where this goes.
It's like train wreck.
Yeah. Part of it, yes, but part of it's actually genuinely interesting.
Yes, and that's why I say it's a tough one. That the whole thing, why are they coming alive? And there is something going on here. They show that, yes, there is something going on. It isn't just a random one-off thing so we can have an otaku fantasy, although there might be. But they're implying that there's more to it. So it's like, okay, I kind of want to see what they're going with here.
Well, I did like was the whole, hey, like his fantasy is not as great as he thought it would be.
Yeah. Which is why I think it's like a mockery of the fantasy. Because
there is times there just straight up calls him out.
Yep.
And it's like, then he'll turn around and just have a close up of her boobs or whatever. It's like, what?
They'll call out the creepiness of the otakus,
and then
just give it to them.
And it's just like revel in the creepiness.
Why?
Like, I don't know. So that's one of the things I think I am willing to watch more. But I am also willing to drop it at a moment's notice if it gets really bad.
Yeah, keep it under a very close.
Whereas, like, the first two we watched, I'll probably watch to the end. Even if I start disliking it, I'll at least write them out to the end. This one, if it starts going bad, I'll just drop it. And be like, no,
it's on a short leash.
Yeah, exactly. Although, never mind.
Yeah, the term may be used improperly, but you get the idea.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to talk about that one just because it is half length, so it's essentially same length as an episode and a half of a normal anime that we watched. And the fourth one we watched, this one is actually kind of here look, this is one of the when it popped up in the random number generators. Oh, cool, that works. It's Fruits Basket, which I know of it because I had heard of it beforehand because this is actually a remake of the original one, apparently, which is based on a manga. Yeah.
I
knew about it. I had never watched it, but I knew about it, so I knew, this is a remake. Okay.
I had never even heard about it.
Yeah. It's essentially a rom-com. Kind of also the reverse harem, which is female protagonists with male suitors.
Yes.
Because usually it's the other way around.
Usually it is.
Yeah. Although when I saw one, it was a female protagonist with female suitors. So, yeah. But, it's... Yeah, it's a rom-com. It's a girl who's named Toru Honda. And let's see, they also opened up with the thing about the zodiac, which kind of turned out to actually be important. I was like, wonder if it's one of those weird and random non sequiturs or whatever. But
nope, it is very important.
Toru Honda, she lives in a tent in secret because her parents are dead, and she doesn't want to live with her grandfather because she doesn't want to be a burden.
Yep.
Because, her mom died in a car wreck, and her dad died when she was really young. And she's kind of living in a tent secretly, not telling anyone until she's discovered by these other people, like Shiguri Soma and Yuki Soma.
Yep. It turns out she's been living on their property.
Yep. And, so they're like, live in the house.
Live in the house. We could use the help.
Because apparently Shiguri is a bit of a slob.
Neither of them are very good at housekeeping.
Yeah. But also Yuki is also a very pretty guy, apparently. Very, very nice looking guy who all the girls have a crush on, but he's always very aloof and distant for some reason.
And really does not like being hugged.
Yeah.
We'll push them away before you can hug him.
Mm-hmm. Turns out there's a reason for that.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. Turns out these two guys turn into
animals
because we find that out when Kyo shows up, which is another person in their family.
Yep.
Because he accidentally hugs him and he turns into a cat.
Falls on him, really.
Yeah. It was one of those weird hug falls ending.
Yeah, hug fall.
He turns into a cat.
What?
And then turns out the other two, when she accidentally hugged them as well. Shiguri turned into a dog, and Yuki turned into a rat.
A rat.
They are all, except for Kyo, which is this the important thing, they're all signs of the Zodiac. Currently, there's going to be a bunch of them showing up.
Yep. It was what, 12?
Well, 12 plus this cat.
Plus the cat.
Because that was the whole thing, was the story was the rat tricked the cat into not being part of the Zodiac.
Yep.
And there's this whole thing where Kyo feels like he's not really part of the family.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
And they all call him an outsider, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing is, because apparently the Soma family, they're possessed by Zodiac spirits. And it's part of the runs of the family. They don't really have any powers. They just, except being able to, well, talk to animals of their type.
Yep. The animal instinct, so they can deal with all that. Sometime to their dismay, like Kyo just can't get away from the cats. They just kind of show up.
Yep.
Just surrounded in kittens. To his dismay and everyone else's delight.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I'm allergic to adorableness.
Yeah. I knew you were going to bring it up. Yeah, both Kyo and Yuki both know martial arts, although Yuki is better.
Much better.
Than Kyo. That irritates Kyo because he's trying to fight. Basically, his whole thing is if he wins, he can
join the family.
Right? And Yuki just keeps, destroying him every time.
Yep. It's a bit of interesting rivalry between those two. Where Yuki wants out. Basically, wants out of the family, doesn't really want to have anything to do with it. But Kyo wants to be part of it. So it's like
there's a really easy solution here. There's a really easy solution, but for some reason, you guys are too hung up on hating each other to see it.
Yep.
The other thing, like I said, Yuki Soma is the school prince. That's what he is.
Yes.
The prince.
The prince.
Because every girl wants him.
Yep.
Yeah, and sometimes you get the fangirls, like it was Motoko Minagawa, who yells at Toru a bit because she walked home with him or something.
Or walked to school.
Walked to school with him, that's what it was, yeah. Got it backwards.
Walked to school with him, it's like,
how dare you?
How dare you?
You think you just do that? Why is that a problem? Yeah, but the thing is, Toru has some friends, Uo and Hanajima, who are apparently delinquents, and Hanajima can sense everyone's waves.
Yeah,
and she knows that Yuki has some really strange waves,
almost animal-like.
Yeah, and then Kyo also has these really similar strange waves.
Yes,
and she's also creepy as hell.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, I like her.
I know, she's great.
I also like Uo, who's probably her and Kyo are going to have a thing, possibly. I'm not sure. Again, this is a remake, so probably people already know a lot about it, but again, we don't. Because it's a remake is probably going to be fairly similar to the original. I don't know. I have no idea what their plans are for it. It might throw a twist in that will throw people off who watch the original. I don't know. But in which way, it's all new to me. Other than I knew about it. I didn't even know about the Zodiac thing. I just knew it was an anime and it was a romance rom-com. That's all I knew.
Yeah, I had no idea that this was even a thing until we pulled it up. So I'm brand new to it. But it's definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on. Weirdly enough, I don't know. I like it, but it's like I like the first two we watched a little better, I think. Or particularly the first one. I don't know what it is. I like it well enough, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things like, I like it, but
there's better out there.
I don't know. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like it's good. It's pretty good. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just some of the characters. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that it's that stupid thing of like you see the side character, you want it to focus on them all the time instead of the main character type thing.
Oh,
you want to know about that character, but they don't care about that character. They want you to look at this main character all the time. It's like no, I want that side character. I want to attach myself to that one. What are you doing? Well, the interesting story's over there, off camera. Darn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still like it well enough. It just, I don't know.
Maybe they'll get more, that characters will get more screen time later in the in this series.
I think part of it, I felt like some of it kind of, I don't know. I feel like some of it is kind of like I think particularly Kyo and Yuki kind of like, yeah. Sometimes I think part of it, I think Yuki kind of feels like too perfect sometimes. It's one of that I think like rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah,
he feels a little too. I mean, they're slowly. I mean, at this point, again, 3 episodes in, they're kind of already starting to show some of his flaws to a degree.
Yeah, they are starting to poke holes in that.
But yeah, just just kind of just one of those initial, and I guess bad first impression.
Yeah.
For me, just like I don't like this kind of character that much, where they're like too perfect from the get go.
Although they are changing it.
Yeah, they are showing that he does have flaws.
He does have flaws.
But it's kind of, so far, these flaws are not huge flaws or anything. They're kind of very minor ones.
Yeah. He's the prince. He's
Other
perfect.
Yeah, his whole thing is like, oh, I have a hard time connecting with people. Great! Join the club!
Different reasonings, but yeah. Stop being so aloof.
Yeah.
Except, he has to, because if someone hugs it.
Turns into a rat.
Yep. But only if girls hug him.
And of course, we have I'm a little worried this is going to become a bit of a crutch for comedy, which is, oh, hey, look, Toru accidentally hugs one of them again. Whoops.
Yep, and they keep repeating that one over again. Trips and falls on them and hugs them. Yeah.
There's another person that showed up. I didn't catch their name. We didn't catch the name, but they had a clear animal hoodie. And was it German or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course Toru misidentified it as English.
There was a German. I want to say what?
I think it was a rabbit hoodie.
Yeah, it was a rabbit. It was a rabbit, and she was speaking German.
I think she would make
met Honduras out as she was leaving work.
Toru
Honduras. Yeah, met her as she was leaving work.
So
and knew who she was. Kind of freaked her out.
Yeah. So yeah. It's interesting. I'm just, again, it's kind of the thing is I'm a little worried about the hair. Also, the other thing that's kind of killing my potential interest is the harem thing.
The harem aspect of it.
Which, yeah, I mean, still, it's reverse harem, so it's a little different than normal. It's like, there's that worry because all of these things, what happens is you get a fairly protagonist because you gotta leave it bland as possible.
As blank of a slate as possible so that the viewer can insert themselves.
Mm-hmm. Put themselves in their shoes, so they're like, I'm surrounded by pretty girls. Or pretty guys in this case.
In this case, yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm just a little worried about some of the stuff that might come up. It's not to the same worry as with Amazing Stranger, but there's still some worry there.
Yeah. I think overall, the one I'm most interested in these four is going to be Cinderella 9.
Yeah, same here. I know some people will be like, really? I think a lot of people would be more interested in the Midnight Occult.
Midnight Occult, yeah. Because it's a tough one. Those two are so different, though. It's hard for me to do a direct comparison and rank them against each other. I think for me, it's just the structure and pacing of the Occult one felt odd enough to me.
Kind of put you off a little bit?
It put me off a little bit with its structure and pacing. So it puts Cinderella 9 up higher.
Yeah. I mean, even if someone says, well, Cinderella 9 is going to be pretty generic, because I don't care.
I mean, well, I don't know the generic stuff.
I'm just like, I've seen enough, but I don't care. I like that. It's like I'm comfortable enough in that wheelhouse to keep watching it over and over again with different characters.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm still new to this whole thing. So it might be generic to you, but it's still kind of new to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm not affected by that. Ha Yet. I can enjoy it while I have it.
Yeah. But that's really it, honestly. Two definitely continue watching. One that's in a very much on a drop at a moment's notice, and one that's like, I'm still interested, but I'm not
as much as the other ones. Interested. Yeah. Although I think I might be a little bit more interested in Fruits Basket than you are.
Yeah.
But I still get it. It still is lower than the other ones.
Yeah. So, that's it. Actually, that worked out pretty well, timing-wise. I actually hope we can do this sort of thing maybe in the future. That kind of worked out, I think.
It helps us find new stuff, too.
Yeah, maybe down the line, I might actually adjust our little schedule we have just a little bit to account for this.
Schedules.
Yeah. But if you like this at all, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, but you can find other episodes at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled Libsyn. All the episodes will be there as they come out. And you'll also see links to a bunch of the stuff I'm going to talk about, including other destinations, include iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube.com, search for New to Weeaboo because the channel name is insane. Because we can't have a custom one yet. Yeah, you can search for it. You search for New to Weeaboo on all those things. Google Play, play.google.com/music, the iTunes Store, or Spotify. Search for it at any one of those things. You can subscribe to any one of those places. We got, whichever your poison is.
Pick your poison.
Mm-hmm. And you find us there. See us, see the episodes that come out. Again, we're a monthly podcast. They're not going to be very frequent, but they'll come out on a fairly regular basis. Hopefully, we don't miss. If we do miss out, something went dreadfully wrong. But if you want to contact us as well, you can go do so newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. You can send us questions, what you think about new animes or whatever. These particular 4 suggestions for us to watch stuff.
Yep.
In the future, whatever.
We'll take a look at those.
Take a look. We will try to avoid very, very long animes for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because we only have so much time.
We only have so much time. I did the math on what would it take to watch some of it. It's kind of scary.
Like let's do One Piece.
That won't happen. I'm not doing that.
No, we don't have time.
I'm not doing that. I mean, my upper limit is kind of the original Sailor Moon run, because that's 200 episodes. That's like my upper limit right there.
Yeah, and that's just because it's something as important as Sailor Moon.
Well, DBZ is also important, but also really long.
DBZ, but oh my god.
That's really, really, really long.
Let's just talk about the abridged series. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, but so yeah, you can do this via email. You can also contact us via Twitter @NewToWeeaboo. We tweet out things from that sometimes. I probably should start using it more. Sometimes I put out some pretty strong opinions on that Twitter.
Sure, why not?
That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Next month, we'll be talking about a very certain franchise.
Oh boy.
Certain franchise indeed.
It's going to be...
the Rail Decks.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about that.
If you look at our Twitter, you might see one of our opinions.
Yeah, you might see a very strongly worded opinion, which is absolutely 100% accurate.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll be talking about that, and that's a lot to talk about. So it's going to be a little bit different than what we've done up to this point. So that's it. Again, hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time. So take care until then. Bye.
See ya.